Alrighty, folks, we got another new album review for you today. This is Don Airey, Push to the Edge. Cool artwork there. Everyone should know who Don Airey is. Been in Deep Purple for over 20 years. Played with everybody. Ozzy, Shanker, Gary Mullen, and the list is endless. So yeah, he got this new album out. I heard the opening track, I believe, and liked it. I was deciding whether I was going to investigate the album further, and then JC from JC Rock and Metal Reviews reviewed the album, said how much he liked it. Mentioned that Simon McBride was on it, which I did not know. I did know that Carl Sentance was singing. So anyway, that combination of factors made me decide I wanted to go out and give this a shot. So like I mentioned, Carl Sentance is on vocals on most of the songs. You may know him from Persian Risk. JC also reminded me that he was singing for Nazareth, and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. I wanted to go look and see how long he was singing with Nazareth, because I would have guessed it was like a couple years. He's been singing for Nazareth for 10 years, so I did not realize that. Then there's another guy named Mitchel Emms who sings on like 3 tracks, I believe. And I think he was from UK's The Voice. I don't know if he does anything else. And like I said, Simon McBride on guitar, which also reminded me that Simon McBride has played with Don Airey for many years. I think he first came on board with Don like in 2006, somewhere around there. And one thing that I forgot that Simon McBride also I think he got his start in Sweet Savage, which is a band most notable for being Vivian Campbell's band before Dio snatched him up, and also for Metallica doing a cover of their song Killing Time. So he was in the 90s version of Sweet Savage, I believe. So that's another cool little thing there. Carl Sentence from Persian Risk, another new wave of British heavy metal band. And Simon McBride, although they were way past new wave of British heavy metal in the 90s by the time McBride got into Sweet Savage. And then Dave Marks is on bass. I think that he's just like a touring professional, joins a bunch of people, played with a bunch of different people. And then Jon Finnigan on drums. I think he's pretty much just like a session drummer. Does a really good job on this album. And then Steve Bentley Klein is on strings and trumpet. So the first song is called Tell Me. Starts off with a punchy Deep Purple type keyboards and riffs. And Carl sounds a lot like Dave Meniketti on the song. He sounds like Dave Meniketti a lot. It's a good fast-paced rocker, good way to open up the album. They Keep On Running is the second track. It starts off with this weird mariachi trumpet before it goes into a slow-paced stomp. The keyboard's very reminiscent of like Rapture of the Deep era, Deep Purple. Now the third track is called Moon Rising. This has got Mitchel Emms on vocals here. He's got a very AOR type voice. This is a very AOR type song. It reminded me a lot of, if you remember the band Bonham from the 80s, it reminded me of that band a lot. It's got nice drum and keyboard trade-off in the song before McBride gets his solo. The fourth track's called Rock the Melody. This one, Carl actually reminded me of Mark Storace. I was hearing Mark Storace in his voice, and then that reminded me that Carl also sang for Crocus, and I believe he even put out an album with Crocus. So he's got a very good voice, very wide range. There's also a lot of ELP influence in the keyboards in this song. Flames in the Water, going back to the Dave Menichetti, this is like a Y&T type ballad. And then it's got, goes into some cocktail lounge piano. So it's kind of bizarre, kind of thinking that you're going, this song's going on maybe a little too long. And all of a sudden the pace changes. It comes in with this crunchy riff and this smoking guitar solo. It's almost like they were just like, had this piece of music, or like, what would be the most bizarre song to add this piece of music to? Let's put it at the end of Flames in the Water. But it works, saves the song. Out of Focus, Mark Storace again, fronting Deep Purple is what this one sounds like. Really cool John Lord type solo in this song. Jon Finnigan's channeling his inner Ian Pace in this one. Definitely sounds like a Perfect Strangers era, Deep Purple. Power of Change is the next one. It's another Mitchel Emms number. It's got a really funky groove to it. Then before getting into a really melodious chorus with strings, before getting into another killer guitar solo and more ELP type keyboards on the outro. The next track is called Girl from Highland Park. This is an instrumental, and it is piano, acoustic guitar, and strings. And it sounds like it's straight out of a 70s movie, like a 70s movie montage where they're like showing a happy family with the frosted lens walking through the park. I kept picturing like Death Wish when they have all those background montages showing the happy family before everything goes wrong. But yes, you can literally picture the 70s movie in the background as that song's playing. Your next song is Gods of War. This is your longest number. Starts off very epic. Strong, soaring vocals from Carl on this one. And then it goes into an 80s, almost Chicago style breakdown. There's a lot of weird chord changes in this album that actually work. This one doesn't work. Luckily, there's a guitar solo and a Hammond organ solo at the end of the song. And it brings it all back around to the epic beginning. But that weird Chicago type breakdown, and it was 80s Chicago, kind of took you out of the song for a minute. Edge of Reality, Mitchel Emms on this one. Slow, echoey tune, good guitar solos, good keyboard solos. I know I keep saying that over and over again, but it's Simon McBride and of course Don Airey stand out all over this album. And then the song finishes with a flurry, so it pulls itself out of that slow, echoey beginning And then your last one is another instrumental. It's called Finnigan's Awake. It's like later era Deep Purple meets ELP. No, I say it's an instrumental. You get a closing outro from Don Airey himself, thanking all the members in the band. So yeah, really good album, really solid album. Hints of latter-day Deep Purple, like Rapture of the Deep, Onward, Deep Purple. Hints of ELP in there. Really strong performance from Carl Sentance on the vocals. Of course, strong performance from Don Airey. He's top 5 keyboard player of all time, easy. And then Simon McBride smokes on this album. I mean, he's got some killer solos. And then Jon Finnigan, the drummer, he's really solid too. Does a great job on here. Nice drum work throughout the album. He especially when he's channeling his inner Ian Pace, which he does quite a bit. So this is a really solid album. Really glad I saw that JC review on it, because it pushed me into buying it, because I was still kind of on the fence. I was afraid there was going to be a lot more instrumentals on it, honestly. And whenever keyboard players have instrumental albums, they sometimes go off into weird areas. I mean, there's a couple of weird areas on here, but for overall, the album's just a rocking number. So I give this an easy 8 out of 10. Let's see, my favorite songs on here would probably be Tell Me, the opening number, Out of Focus, and Gods of War, Power of Change. Those are some other good ones too. If you want to go check it out, hopefully I can find a link that I can leave in the comments that'll help you find a song or track to listen to. Don Airey, Push to the Edge, 8 out of 10. You guys have a good one.